What's up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, Video Game Podcast, episode number 43. I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, is the incredible Luscious Brody. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little under the weather. It's also extremely foggy outside.
It is.
It's like you can't see a damn thing.
No. Yeah, driving back from dinner tonight, it was a little rough.
Yeah, you know what you can see, though?
Our Instagram and Twitter page.
Ooh, you got it, boy. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. I don't know about you, but the guys that make, What the Golf, they follow us now, too. So shout out to them. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Diggity Gaming is the username. Yes, if you're listening to the audio podcast, we have a video version. And yes, if you're watching the video version, hey, we've got an audio version for you. Subscribe to our podcast, the audio version on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Spotify, or wherever you listen. PSA announcement on the Spotify, by the way. We are trying to resolve a problem right now where Spotify users weren't getting our podcast for the last couple episodes, and we just found out today. And that's a great way to find out, right? It's great. It's fantastic. It's like you saying, "Oh, I've lost my child." Oh no, it's okay. It's not a school day. It's Sunday, and then you realize, no, it's a Tuesday. So we're worried beyond belief. But what I'm not worried about is audiobooks. And today's podcast, every time I try to segue into this stuff, I cringe a little bit inside. That was probably one of the worst ones ever. Anyways, hey, Audible. Head on over to audibletrial.com/diggity. You can get access to over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, your Android, Kindle, or your MP3 player, and you get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial. So support the show. Head on over there, audibletrial.com/diggity. Thank you to Audible team and the Amazon team for sponsoring the podcast today. And with that, my dude, it's Thursday show. You want to hit us with some hot deals? Do you want to pass the savings on to us?
I sure would. I would love to do that.
That's great.
So first up, we got Dragon Ball Z. The first season is available for free on the Microsoft Store, which is awesome. It goes kind of on sale for free fairly often. But anyway, Microsoft Xbox One wireless controller, the Sport White Special Edition on Amazon for $48.
I did not put it in the show notes. I apologize for that.
And then the last one we got for you guys is that Redbox is having a free one-day game rental from February 5th to February 11th. So if there's something you were leery about and just kind of want to give it a go, this is a great time to do it.
Yeah, you just head on over to redbox.com and you should see a banner there. It's like their promo right now. So, yeah, also on the Microsoft controller. Yeah, I totally forgot to put the price there. That doesn't really help. Hey, you can get a Xbox One controller on Amazon.
What was it, 48 or 43?
I'm pretty sure it's 48.
Oh boy. It's on sale. Go check it out. Oh, wow. We knocked that out of the park, man. Right there.
Hey, look. We've made it, you know?
Yeah.
We've definitely made it. All right, so there's new games coming to Xbox Game Pass soon. February 7th, we'll see Shadow of the Tomb Raider and The Walking Dead, the complete first season, as well as Pumped BMX Pro come to Game Pass. On February 14th, The Blob comes to Game Pass. On February 15th, Crackdown 3 will also be, comes to Game Pass, and that'll also be playable on PC via Play Anywhere, which is pretty sweet. And on February 21st, Batman Return to Arkham will be available. So, dude, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I can't really get into the Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Pumped
with you there.
BMX Pro, I just don't. It might be a good game. I've never played it. The Blob, not a fan. Crackdown 3, super pumped for that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
We'll definitely be doing a review of that. And Batman Return to Arkham, hey, it's a pretty decent game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty good month, and they said they're going to be announcing more coming soon. So I don't know if that's going to be Game Pass. I don't know if that's going to be more February titles or more March titles, but I would bet that since we're all the way through February 21st, I imagine it's going to be stuff we're going to see in March.
Yeah, I assume so.
But yeah, so the Nintendo Switch Online, which is the paid service for Nintendo Switch, is adding Super Mario Bros. 2 and Kirby's Adventure on February 13th. And these are both NES titles that you can play through their little emulator type deal they have set up with the Nintendo Switch Online. There's a lot
of games in there now. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I hadn't logged in a long time, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
there's quite the library here.
We always let everybody know that they are coming, but if you don't go in there and actually look at it, it's kind of hard to visualize how much that whole library has grown.
I feel like on the Switch, like the news section, I feel like it could be so much better. Mm-hmm. And like I just don't understand. Like you go in there, there's not like I wish they did something like kind of an iPhone where there was like a exclamation point or something, over the box. And I know there's like a little blue dot that kind of shows there, but
right, it's easy to overlook.
Or when you hover over, it's like, hey, you got new games, by the way. So hey. Anyways, Thursday show. Last week on the Thursday show, we announced that we're doing something called Indie Radar, which is a showcase each week. We pick a game from an indie development team, preferably that is announced and has been shown, whether it be assets or some sort of a video trailer or announcement trailer, but it hasn't come out yet. This one is called What the Golf. The developer is Triband. Platforms are mobile, Windows, Mac, and Linux. The release date is to be announced, but right now it's saying 2019. The description of it is a golf game for people who hate golf, a silly physics-based golf parody where every golf course is a new surprising type of golf. Some brilliant or hilarious, others so absurd they will make you go, what the golf? So I urge everybody, honestly, go to the Diggity Gaming YouTube channel and check out the What the Golf announced trailer. It's up there on our YouTube channel. Also check out Triband's website.
Yeah, they have a fantastic website. I was hanging out on there the last couple of days, kind of just making sure I had everything that we could get out for them as far as info-wise, and it's wonderful. They have all sorts of pictures, and they have the trailer that we posted up, and then they also have like a 5-minute gameplay. But I absolutely think this game looks awesome because I don't like golf. And so I'm right there with them. It's right there for me. But I mean, they showed everything from you're shooting a literal hole into a one, and like a horse that you try to launch off of a diving board, it looks like, and he just kind of flails. I mean,
the toaster.
You could hit the toaster and toast pops up. Like just all sorts of ridiculous things that, I mean, I don't know how on earth they came up with some of it, but it's absolutely, it looks like it'd be fun. It looks like it'd be a great party game. It looks like it'd be a fun game to play by yourself. I'm pumped for it, and they follow us on Twitter now, so you should too.
Oh, nice plug! Wow, smooth. Yeah, I'm super pumped for this game. I think it looks beautiful in the art style that it's done in. I think it's super goofy. I like goofy games. Honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think there's so many serious games out there that I enjoy, but I also like to see what people do with the goofiness in terms of different games. And I'm excited. I would love to see this thing on a console, to be honest with you. But I think it'll take some time. But it'll be super fun. And yeah, I want to know more about the release date because right now it says 2019, and obviously it's only February. So I'm hoping that means it comes out in April or May and not December, because that'll make me upset. I'll still wait for it and I'll still get it, but whatever.
I have no insider information on this, by the way, but I kind of have a feeling it might be sometime in like June or July. Just seems like a good time for this to launch, honestly. I don't know if they're going to be ready by that time. It seems like they have a fairly small crew. But I know they've put a ton of work into making a ton of levels. It sounds like there's going to be a lot to do in this game as far as level wise, and just I think June or July would be a great time. As everybody's getting out there and actually going golfing, if they do like golf.
They'll release it during maybe sooner. Maybe they'll release it while the Masters are going on. Just like an absolute ironic.
That'd be perfect.
Marketing campaign where it's the most serious of golf times, and they release a game that absolutely just,
And as far as the
makes fun of
console
golf.
thing goes, I do believe I saw something. I think they did a AMA on Reddit, or the first time I saw this was actually on Reddit, and so I ventured out and kept kind of trying to find more information on it.
It's been a long time since I looked at it, but they were basically talking about like they want to do that in the future and plan it for the future, right?
Yeah,
but it's not in the works right now, from what we understand.
Right. I think they want to get out the PC version and the mobile version, and then venture into platform version if at all possible. But I think they're just kind of looking at what that would look like and what it's going to take to do that. So,
well, I mean, also if you look at like Donut County,
yeah.
And what it's done now, it's come to console. So I think it'll be a similar, life cycle of that.
At the very least, I would imagine it will come to Switch at some point in time. I mean,
a great Switch game.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we say that quite often, but it really, really would be a great Switch game.
Damn. All right, dude. You want to hit us with the next piece of news?
So this one's kind of a just lumped together EA, Apex Legends, and Titanfall type news, because none of them really stand alone all that great, but together they kind of make a story here. But so first off, we actually have Vince Van Pella, the CEO of Respawn Entertainment, stating on Twitter that there's definitely something, and something being the key word here, Titanfall related, that will introduce a new twist to the Titanfall universe coming in this year, but there are also a lot of plans for Apex Legends as well. So whatever they're working on, they definitely want it to coexist, and it's not necessarily going to be the Titanfall 3 that we were expecting. But I think we'll definitely get something. I don't know if it's going to be like a turn-based strategy type deal or what, which I'd be okay with.
It's a card game.
Yeah, a lot of people are concerned that it might be a mobile game, which I really hope not.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's all the trend right now.
Chinese market, yeah.
Yep. But in an interview with Game Informer executive producer Drew McCoy said not to be throwing EA under the bus, but this wasn't the game they were expecting. I had to go to executives and show it to them and explain it, and not convince, but more, hey, trust us. This is the thing you want out of us. As a corporation, they can only quantify based on past data, and they've never done anything like this before. There's a giant rainbow question mark over revenue projections for this game. They're like, we don't know, we can't predict. This is a game we had to say, this is what we want to do, help us get there. They had no hand in development or anything about this game.
How sad is that you are a company under the EA umbrella, and you have to come out and you have to make it known that EA had no part in the game that you were making, to the extent of this. Like, no one usually has to go to this length. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a company, and it just makes me wonder and ponder with something like with Respawn, like if that crew does what Bungie did with Activision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how much more can they take of that kind of stuff, and what I mean, it's so odd to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of upsetting, honestly.
I believe Respawn was just picked up by EA in 2016 or 2017. So it's only been a couple years, but the way EA's kind of been going about a lot of their games recently, Respawn doesn't want anything to do with that, because Respawn does have respect from the players and from people who love their games. They've always done pretty well with making sure that they're not doing some of the scummy practices that some of the other developers and things are doing. So they definitely want to distance themselves from EA, especially after, all of the Battlefront 2 nonsense and things like that, where when you have microtransactions in a game and you're also tied to a company that is notorious for having the worst microtransactions probably in the history of gaming, Yeah, no, I absolutely understand coming out and be like, hey, no, they didn't have anything to do with this. This was all us. It's okay. Like,
But you don't think that so your thoughts is that EA will never be able to sway Respawn in that way? Because my thought is basically if they when you buy something, right? You buy it to buy the IP behind it and to also get you just hit your pop filter with that Carnage mug.
I sure did.
That thing's fucking massive.
It's the chin, man. Look at this chin. Look how big that thing is. It's ridiculous.
That's hilarious. I've got my Captain Phasma mug, which is fantastic. Anyways, yeah. When they buy them, they bought them because they wanted the intellectual property and they wanted the skill, right?
Yeah.
They wanted the skill set. So my worry is that like Apex Legends as well, or just time goes by and time goes on, and they just are taking people from the Respawn crew and trying to figure out how to implement that into the rest of EA. But when you're doing that, you're trying to take people who don't want to work on like Plants vs. Zombies, and you're asking, hey, work on Plants vs. Zombies and help us make Plants vs. Zombies better in some regards. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the way EA is that eventually it's just all going to blend.
I can see that, but at the same time, I feel like most of the instances we've seen where EA comes in and picks up a company, they pretty much either absorb or dissolve that company within like a couple years. It's not very long. So for Respawn to be able to put out a game like this, basically with no strings attached, and they can kind of, from what they're saying, have full creative control with it. I think that's saying a lot. I think that I don't know what kind of deal they have with EA. Respawn does.
It might just be like, here's your budget for the year.
Yeah, and that very well could be. But right now, Respawn is working on a Star Wars game. They're working on whatever this Titanfall game is, and they're also supporting Apex Legends. So they have 3 pretty huge games right now. So I imagine EA is playing pretty nice, considering, because they need these other games to do well, considering what they've been having lately.
No, their earnings was terrible.
Yeah, their earnings is down. I mean, Battlefield 5 did not do well. It's EA has kind of been a mess.
At dinner, the numbers were, you said they were like 1 million copies shy of where they wanted to be.
Yeah, they were a million copies short from where their projections were. Which when you're talking about what I say it was 5 or 6 million that they did sell.
Yeah,
I mean,
money.
Yeah, you're talking about a lot of money for sure, and that's a big chunk of what they were supposed to have. And
Yeah,
I mean,
you're talking pretty much an extra $60 to $90 million that you're missing.
And then right before the show started, we were talking about how Red Dead Redemption 2
oh my God, yes,
has reportedly sold 23 million copies worldwide. And so that's in the course of a month longer than what Battlefield has been out. And I understand they're drastically different games and it's a completely different deal here, but at the same time, you're talking, I mean,
right,
a huge, phenomenal success in Red Dead Redemption 2. And Battlefield, I mean, that's low even by, normal Battlefield sales numbers. And the weird thing about it for me was that they're trying to put the blame on the fact that they focused on the story rather than getting the Battle Royale mode out. And I think that they're just trying to evade what's really going on here. And their marketing was shit leading up to this. They had to delay it. There was a lot of issues that came to the surface, and on top of that, after they put the game out, it's buggy and they're having problems, and they're not able to fix these problems very quickly at all. I mean, as far as I know, a lot of the problems from when we were playing regularly are still there. And, they want to point the finger at other things, and I think they're just... I think they're deflecting. I think they're just trying to put this one behind them and move on.
What I just don't understand is, like, just tell me when you are going to be releasing the Battle Royale mode.
I think they would if they knew.
Ooh.
I'm just...
No, hey, that's...
I
don't
don't know.
Probably, my friend.
I don't see why they wouldn't. If their game is not doing well, you need to have something out there to keep players around or to get people excited about it. And so if they actually knew when this game was coming, they would tell us. But I think they're scrambling still. I mean, they pushed the initial release date back a month. And then on top of that, they take the Battle Royale mode that was supposed to launch with it initially when they first talked about it and everything.
They're like, wait, it's not ready.
And then like, hey, it's not ready. And then I remember hearing a February date tossed around. Well, now you get closer to the February date because, hey, guess what? February's here. And if you look it up and try to find anything about it, all it says is spring of 2019. And I think they're scrambling, man. I really do. And it's not looking good. The excuse
is so ridiculous, right? Because it's like when we were at dinner. By the way, we got dinner today.
Yeah.
For those who were wondering. But anyways, when we were at dinner today, like we were both kind of agree. We were like, Battlefield to me, like if you put Battle Royale mode into it, that's just a party mode to me. That just happens to be there. Like no one's actively being like, holy shit, I got to get this because of the Battle Royale mode into it. I mean, I'm assuming there's some people maybe that are like that, but most people are like Battlefield. They want it's a pretty unique experience, right? So it's kind of like that's its mainstay. So to say because the Battle Royale hadn't come out yet, I think is kind of bullshit. And yeah, to your point, just the communication's just been shit. Like if there's anything we can take away from 2018, it was like the year of really bad communication to the gamer. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Not everybody did it. There's some great communication from some companies that were just fantastic, but like I mean, we put in Bethesda into that mix, and then you throw DICE and the EA team into this mix, and then EA for other stuff down the road, and it's just it was not a good year to figure out what the hell's going on, and it's not cool when you know. Because if I recall, they mentioned that the Battle Royale was going to be delayed, like, pretty close to when the game was going to be released, right?
Yeah, I believe it was within, like, a month or 3 weeks from the secondary release date. Yeah, not the first one. So
right, because we thought because we had reported. Eons of podcasts ago. It seems now.
Seems like a long time.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. All of like 5 months.
5 months. Almost 6 months now.
Almost. Getting there.
But yeah, we when we discussed it, we were like, okay, cool, they're delaying it a month. Well, it's probably for the Battle Royale stuff. I'm cool with that. Make the game better, whatever. Cool. And they're like, hey guys, it's coming out, and you're not getting Battle Royale until spring 2019.
Yeah, it was just that whole launch was a mess, and everything leading up to the launch was a mess. And honestly, a lot of things after launch have been a mess, and it's unfortunate to see because when it does work, okay, I'm not even going to say well, but okay, we had a lot of fun with it. I mean. Yeah. We played a lot of it.
Talk about like it's dead. We had a lot of fun with it. It was
well,
a good game.
I mean, we haven't played it for a little while now.
Mm-hmm. We haven't played for a couple of weeks.
I mean, granted, we've also been very busy with everything that's been coming out and just trying to get through other games. And I mean, there's a lot to play right now. It's actually a very busy season for us. But it's just kind of one of those things that. It was fun, but at the same time, it wasn't enough to captivate us and keep us around. So, like I'm saying, without the Battle Royale mode, I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
For sure.
But the next piece of news in all of this this bundle of fun here is Respawn has confirmed that crossplay is coming at some point in time, but was unable to promise that there will be cross progression or cross purchase at the same time. Due to the way systems were set up early on, that's a quote, and that these things, another quote, can't be reconciled after the fact. So it looks like basically as they were developing this, they weren't banking on having to do crossplay or cross purchase or cross progression.
Do we know how long this has been in development at all, or no?
I don't know. I have not.
That would have to be a decent amount of time back.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Probably like what, 2-3 years?
Probably at least 2 years. I bet they were able to reuse some assets from Titanfall 2 and get it out in 2 years or so. Yeah. And it's not like they have to develop a story or anything like that. So they might have even had a quicker turnaround than that. But at the same time, cross progression and cross play and all that really wasn't a thing, a year ago. We weren't looking at playing, Xbox to PlayStation or anything like that.
Right. Didn't think it was ever going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's ever since we started the podcast, and it was probably three months into us doing this podcast. So it was like, 3, maybe 4 months ago that we finally started to see, the crossplay talks. And so now they were able to get the cross-play to work, but the cross-progression and cross-purchase, so, you can't carry account over. It just seems like they didn't set it up that way because they weren't thinking it was going to be something that was there.
Yeah, it's a shame, too, because, I think that's really something that would help it, of keeping its, peak concurrent users.
Yeah. Because
you can amalgamate all of them together instead of, sequestering them to Xbox and PlayStation and other stuff. Cool. Hey, go ahead. What do you have? You have one more thing?
Yeah, I got one more thing.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So Apex Legends has had over 2.5 million unique users and over 600,000 peak concurrent users in just 24 hours after launch. 8 million of those unique players played within the first 8 hours of launch. And mind you, this was a surprise drop of a game. Nobody knew it was coming. So
yeah,
or not really.
To the individuals who decided, hey, let's just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Clearly it wasn't. It wasn't just let's just throw it out there. They have a huge marketing campaign because I keep getting ads on my phone all the time for Apex Legends right now.
Oh yeah,
on my computer, like it's insane.
It's everywhere, and I'm almost a little shocked at how everywhere it is. It's just all over the place. You can't go anywhere without seeing Apex Legends or something. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. That's good numbers, especially in such a short period of time. And obviously, the true test is going to be whether those will still be there in a month and then 6 months. Or so.
You think the landscape is too big now for Battle Royale stuff, or do you think it's like someone's got to die off? It's not going to be Fortnite, clearly.
I don't know. We might be able to exist with, the big three at this point. I don't think Blackout's going to hold on much longer. I think it is. Yeah, I think, honestly.
It's now like party mode style now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something. I didn't have a problem with it personally, but I feel like if only 3 of the bigger ones are going to survive, I think it's actually still going to be PUBG holding on because for whatever reason it has a cult following and a lot of people still love it. Right. Obviously, I don't think Fortnite's really going anywhere for a while yet. And I think actually Apex Legends is going to be the third one that's going to be able to hold on. And I mean, from what I'm seeing online and from what I've actually played, it's a damn good game. It runs well, and I had a blast. It looks great.
And it runs super smooth, yeah, and especially for the art style that they went for.
Yeah, which is, they were able to pull it off in Titanfall 2 where you have bots and actual players and titans and all sorts of just crazy, crazy shit going on. And they pulled it off very well. And so, yeah, I fully expect this game to do very well and probably top PUBG and give Fortnite a good run for its money.
Yeah. Well, hey, Project XCloud, let's talk that. It's set to be presented at the GDC 2019 conference by the Xbox team. So, for those who don't know, Project XCloud is enabling console-native games to stream to mobile devices through the Azure-hosted game servers and streaming clients. And little-known facts on GDC. GDC, or the Game Developers Conference, is the world's largest gaming industry event. GDC began with 25 developers in 1986 and has now around 28,000 attendees. It's in San Francisco. You may know that place. And pretty sure Greg Miller created GDC. It just stands for Greg Miller Developer Conference. Just I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
kidding.
confirm
I love
that's
Greg Miller.
definitely what it is.
Project XCloud. I am very excited, very terrified at the same time with this. And I will tell you why, sir. Because this sounds like it's going to be a subscription service.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't know if that means that it's going to be built into Game Pass, because that'd be sick. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're already in Game Pass, so Microsoft can do what they want to do with them and can add this ability in through XCloud, through the Azure platform and game clients that they have. But this is kind of terrifying this should be very terrifying to Sony, and I think it should be very terrifying to Nintendo, to be honest with you, because this now makes your mobile phone, not that it wasn't a handheld gaming unit, because it has been for a very long time, and now we're starting to actually see some games that are actually, you know, super good games on, like Donut County, and, you know, we have the Diablo game coming out. I know people hate it, and they're like, boo, why would you say that? But whatever. It's a game. It's a lot better than playing, you know, Flappy Bird, right? We've come a long way. But yeah, I think they're gonna rule that market. I mean, there's gonna be so many people, dude, that if they announce this, and this is something that goes live on Xbox One and not the next one, people will go out and buy an Xbox One. Like floods of people.
Yeah.
If this is for the next console, great, cool. Keep me tuned. I want to see what the next console is. But if this is for Xbox One, holy crap, dude.
I think they'll get it out on Xbox One. That'll give them a nice little push here at the end of the console generation, and then carry it over into the next
Carry it
Xbox.
over for the new one.
And it would make a lot more sense to do it before you launch the next console, because the last thing you want to do is base your console around an idea similar to this and then flop like they did basically with the Xbox One. You know, everything was centered around one general idea, and turns out that gamers care more about playing games than they do actually watching TV on their Xbox.
No way, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You don't want to watch Ellen on your Xbox?
No, I'm pretty good. I have a regular TV that I just kind of do that on.
Just turn it on, yeah. That's nice. But you don't want to say Cortana, tune to Ellen. Cortana, tune to Maury.
You're making... Yeah, if somebody's listening to this on their Xbox, or, you know, near an Xbox, or even a Microsoft phone for that matter, their shit's freaking out right now.
Okay, first of all, if you have a Microsoft phone, I feel sorry for you. Second of all, if you have a Kinect and it's still plugged in, kudos to you. But you also could just be lazy, and you might not have decided to unplug your Kinect from the back of your console. But if that's the case, Xbox, turn on. I'm hoping it. It's like when you say things like, "Hey Google, play me clips of cats meowing."
Gosh, you're a dick. You forgot about Alexa. You want to go ahead and hit up Alexa? That way we can get that last little one in there.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Alexa, do you love me? Do you love Diggity Podcast? Oh, we could get meta. We could be like, "Hey, Alexa, play the newest episode of Diggity, a video game podcast." And then they can hear us, right? Then they can also hear it through Alexa, and it's kind of like Inception, right? But we're at two different points at this point. So now if you're listening to this, I mean your home is just a fucking mess now, because it's just really, your Xbox is on, your Alexa is now speaking to you, your Google might be speaking to you, and there's like 4 Jeffs speaking right now. How do you feel? Do you feel overwhelmed? Because I would. I most definitely would. Oh, geez. Anyways, yeah, this is cool. I'm super excited to see this kind of stuff, man. And like I said, I think this is a testing ground on mobile devices to eventually, you know, like we've said numerous times, especially when we did our what we want in the next generation consoles. You know, this is kind of the baby step towards going to a console that just streams everything. So we'll have to see what the pricing is on this. And if they include it into Game Pass, that's a hell of a deal. That is a fantastic deal. Yeah, but if it's something like, and you can have, you know, streaming included for an extra $5 or something, or $10 a month, I don't know.
I bet we're going to get at least a free trial of this with a few select games.
For sure.
Just because
Viva Pinata.
obviously, yeah, because obviously they want people to try it out before they actually release the full product here and really, really push this home. But I don't know if there's going to be like a rotating list of free games as well. Just kind of smaller, like some of your lower end Game Pass games or something like that, or how they're going to actually end up going about this. Because I feel like if they went into this as strong as they have so far, the Project XCloud, and really, really pushed into it, and then the only way you can actually use it is by a paid subscription, I feel like that's going to make a lot of people mad.
Well, you think people would be mad, though, if it's an add-on? So, like, you pay for Game Pass, right? $10 a month. And then, because, like, you look at Hulu, you look at Netflix and stuff like that, and, like, Hulu, if you don't want ads, which I think this is bullshit, too. If I'm paying you $40 a month for television, don't throw ads into the on-demand content. You want to show me ads that are from those networks? Different story. Don't care. If I want to watch something on demand, I pay $40 a month.
Yeah.
Don't make me watch ads. That's why I left it. But there's an add-on in there for like $5 where there's no ads. You don't see them doing that, like $10 or an extra $5, and it's a streaming package on top of it. I don't know if that's personally worth it, because I feel like they have to have each of these games. I don't know how it works like fully, but I would assume on the digital side of things, each one of these games would have to have something that would speak to that Azure game client and game server, so there would have to be some sort of programming behind it.
Right. What if... Here's the thing, though. So Xbox is already behind right now. In the current console war. So going into this next console generation, they have to come in strong. And I feel like the way they have marketed this so far, they have not in any way, shape, or form even hinted that this is going to be something you have to pay for. They've kind of said everything is going to be, hey, once you buy the game, now you can play it on your phone. So I feel like they're going to get a lot of backlash if they do come out and they're like, but, this is cool and all, but you have to pay for it on top of buying your games and paying for Xbox Live and Game Pass or everything, and I feel like that's where the main problem is. And on top of that, they're going to be playing a little bit of catch up on this next console generation. So I feel like they haven't charged for the backwards compatible program or anything like that. A lot of this is kind of, so far, goodwill stuff. So I wonder, there's also the possibility of it coming free on the Xbox One, and then by the time the next Xbox, service. And then, like, jump it up $5 or whatever.
I feel like it might be a paid service on this one, but be free on the next. And the only thing I see is I envision basically E3. Okay, they're showing off the next Xbox, or whenever they decide to show it, and the promo image of it is there's an Xbox with a TV screen, and it's playing a game. There's a Microsoft Surface tablet playing the same game. Then there's also a desktop PC and a laptop playing the same game. And I think what they're turning Xbox into is just a platform. They're just going to turn it into a software platform, and then there happens to be boxes that are specifically made to work within that platform and that environment. Because there's no, like, the disc is going away, right? I mean, it's really, we're almost at the point where it's going to be getting into digital storefronts, and that's it, right? We're only a couple years away from that in my mind. So, and, it is a side piece of news or whatever, but when they pointed out, to those things where Xbox Live will be coming to Nintendo Switch, and again, it was kind of like a misleading title in some aspects, but it's with Minecraft. Again, that's another test. I feel like when you pair all these things together, they're just creating an ecosystem that is Xbox, which is gaming in the Microsoft environment, and then allowing that environment to go into other platforms, and then you just so happen to make a tailored box for that. Like, there's no difference between what they're doing right now with Xbox and the things that they're doing that they don't do with Windows operating system, right? Like Windows, you can go buy a Dell, you can go buy an Acer, an Asus, an HP, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. You can buy any of those. but it's still going to have the same operating system on it. And I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to create that software and that platform, and they're just going to happen to make like, the premier gaming box to play Xbox on, which would be your Xbox at home, just like they make the premier Windows experience, Microsoft Surface.
Right.
And I think that's how you create two unified platforms, and then you just make them talk to each other.
Yeah. I feel like...
Because they already tried doing that. When they launched Xbox One, it was a Windows 8 device.
Right.
It just happened to be branded Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, they've already tried to fucking do this, where they create just a software platform, an operating system, and then they have all the tech behind it, and then they try to fill that out other places. Because the next Xbox can be announced, and they could literally do the same trailer and announce trailer that like Nintendo did with the Nintendo Switch, where a guy's on a plane playing on a Microsoft Surface tablet, and then he has an Xbox controller sitting there, or maybe maybe they make side things that are a case that goes around the Surface, right? Like they can literally go do whatever they want if they just create Xbox as a software platform.
Right. Absolutely. And I think that is definitely
evil,
the direction they're heading. But I don't know, man. I feel like on this console generation to charge for it and then go free seems backwards to me. But I do get what you're saying, but yeah. I think it's just going to be one of those things that's kind of...
I just don't know how you do it for free because of the cost. I get they own the servers and the Azure stuff, and it boosts their metrics up.
Right.
For investors and stuff like that, and for other people wanting to come and work with them. But I mean, that's a huge
they've been doing it for the backwards compatible games for years now. Which is
the backwards compatibility stuff, and like I know you're saying it's good faith. That was kind of like hey, we fucked up, let's do this, and I get what you're saying, but I mean, really, it's a small team of individuals who are doing the backwards compat, and it's like, get it out there, cool, it's out there, fantastic, great, thank you.
Well, and that's why I think that they're going to launch it for free before the next generation comes out, and that's because that gives you like a year buffer period or so that you'll actually be able to try this system out and get it to work properly, work out some bugs, and then go pay to use in the next console generation. And even then,
the app is good.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because the mobile app right now for Xbox is pretty bad.
Yeah,
both Android and iOS versions are terrible. And it shows why Microsoft cannot create something for mobile.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is about the mobile platform that stumps them so bad, but
because they're used to being the technical machine.
Yeah.
Right? Look at a Mac. Right? Like a Mac can do very technical things if it wants to, but on the surface a Mac is for ease of use, efficiency, everything from the swipes to the hotkeys and everything is thought of as being saving time, right? And just getting like the job done. I think they think too technically on everything, and that's what fucked them over when they launched the Xbox One to begin with. They went, hey, instead of just being a kick-ass game console, let's make a fucking TiVo that also just happens to play games. Like that's the kind of shit that they do, and then we'll make it a Windows 8 system, because everyone will be like, wow, I've got a Windows 8 box underneath my television. No one gives a shit about that, man. I want to say I have an Xbox under my TV, and I want to play games. That's it.
Yep.
No one cares about that. But yeah, I think that's why. Like they get too technical with it. If you look at any of their Windows phones that they did in the past, they were way over engineered.
Oh, yeah.
The operating system was just like someone drew something up out of the fucking future and decided that we just use tiles that we can never really move around ourselves on the screen. We can only move them within other clusters of tiles, and each one has to fucking flip and show a preview of something every time, and then everything's got to have its own fucking color. And I am bitter, if that's what you're going to say. I'm super bitter about Windows Phone.
I can't tell.
It's dumb.
And it's a shame to me because I think the tiles, like, just inherently, nothing about how they actually made them function, but I think the actual tile system looks very clean and it looks very sharp. But I mean, without the flipping and doing all the unnecessary stuff, just having things laid out in sections like that.
Sure.
Or
just a grid
that
pattern,
warms
like
my
the PlayStation.
OCD heart for sure.
Yeah, like the PS4 operating system. Say what you want, say it's old, but it's on a grid system.
Yeah,
a horizontal and vertical grid, and it freaking works, man. Your category is on the horizontal, and your subcategory is on the vertical, right? And it's like that's brilliant. That works. Keep it simple and stupid. But they also do great stuff, right? Like, I mean, we've seen Microsoft change a lot. Where like you take a look at the Surface, and it's a beautiful device. It's expensive as shit.
Yeah,
it's really expensive for no reason in some aspects, but it's a beautiful device. And even the redesigns of the Xbox, to the One S and the X, they're beautiful looking. The controllers look better. So,
right.
At least if they come out with something that's kind of like, that they can at least spiffy things up over time. But it took a long time for them to do that. This course. But anyways, you've got one more piece before we wrap it up here. What do you got?
So the last thing kind of wanted to bring up is that Kingdom Hearts 3 has sold over 5 million copies as of February 5th, which
holy shit
is basically a week?
A week, yeah.
A week. So that's incredible. We have not talked about it anymore just because I was playing through it, and honestly, and go ahead and sharpen up your pitchforks.
Sounds
and
like you're like breaking up with somebody.
I know. Sharpen your pitchforks and dip your torches in gas, but I'm not the biggest fan. Never been a big fan of the old series, so
yeah. But you don't think it's a bad game?
No, absolutely not. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it looks gorgeous. I just personally cannot get into it. Put a good chunk of time into it and gave it a valiant effort, but I don't think it's for me, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Becky, but we gotta break up. I'm just not feeling
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, I get. We don't hate it. I think it's fine. You can't get into everything.
No.
Good God, there's games that I don't like as much that people will be like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you don't like that? What do you mean Ocarina of Time you don't think is a 10 out of 10. I don't.
That's fair. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so
yeah.
But I can completely
it's easily
agree.
An 8 or a 9, no problem. I don't think it's a perfect game.
Let's not get carried away with the 8 business there. Let's go back to the 9. Come on now, let's rein this in, Jeff.
I'm distracting everybody, so you don't have to take the brunt of all this. Okay.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? You can read all about it in my new book. Psych. I don't write books, but. We're sponsored by.
That
was the worst.
That is now the new worst. You beat out the one you had earlier this episode.
Hey, I can read, but why the fuck would I do that when I can sign up for Audible by heading on over to audibletrial.com/diggity to get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial and get access to over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player. Because fuck reading. All right, I can have my phone read to me in the car, when I'm on the toilet, whatever. I can retain knowledge and let some other fucking thing do the work for me. This is the audiobook in Audible is akin to the scooter in Walmart. I don't need to walk my ass around Walmart. I can just use a scooter. I don't need that shit. I don't need to deal with Walmart. I can go get my fucking SpaghettiOs and my Pop-Tarts. And I don't buy any. Yeah, I don't buy SpaghettiOs. That shit's terrible. But I can go get anything I want at Walmart, and I don't have to lift a foot with my scooter. You know, just like I don't even have to use most of my brain. And I'm actually gonna be serious here about this. Audiobooks, dude, I retain so much more when it's actually being read to me than when I read it myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I found that the weirdest thing. That's real talk. But anyways, head on over to audibletrial.com/diggity. Thank you for sponsoring Audible.
I think it's because you're not worried about the actual reading and pronouncing and everything inside your head. So you're actually able to just fully take it in. And plus, some people actually learn, obviously, differently. And some people retain information better by listening to it. And some people retain it better by reading it. Some people have to read it out loud. But, yeah absolutely.
The Thursday Psych Corner with Brody.
Oh.
A new segment where we give you psychological insights into the human brain and the workings of the human system.
And a new section of our podcast was born today.
On the Tuesday show, we'll be discussing why it's called a weenus. Hey, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube username is Diggity Gaming. You can see the video podcast there, indie radar trailers, and soon to come some new content that we're trying to plan out. I can be found on Xbox by the gamer tag of Maple Jeff. Brody, your gamer tag is
Luscious Brody.
Ooh, apologize to Lucius Brody. Leave a review. Helps us out a ton for the podcast. If you want to leave it on iTunes or Spotify, wherever you're listening to, give us a rating, 5-star preferably. We are indeed a masterpiece, like Ocarina of Time. The review does two things. One, it helps us get noticed more with their algorithms. And two, the most important part is the feedback in the comment section. Helps us make a better product, helps us make better content. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to us and smash that like button. Threw up in my mouth saying that. Ooh. What? You know what my dream is, dude? To write a book on how ridiculous YouTube has gotten.
Yeah.
Just the ridiculous, stupid things that people say on YouTube at the start or end of videos. Smash that like button, yo. We got new fresh hoodies, dog. Download my fucking mobile app. 99 cents. You can get fucking emoji stickers and shit. And,
it amazes me that so many people do it too, especially because it's widely
shameless.
It's widely a meme that it's awful.
Smash that like button,
it's
yo.
So bad.
Yeah. Hey guys, if we can get this video to 1,000 likes, I'll fucking do nothing. But thank you for exploiting the algorithmic theories and functions of YouTube. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Not bitter at all. And that's why my recommended videos is such a shit show.
Oh yeah. I went on to the Diggity. We gotta come up with a podcast that's like just a shoot the shit podcast.
Yeah.
One of these days. But I went on to the Diggity YouTube, okay? And the shit that is recommended, Insane Clown Posse was recommended to us. And specifically, the Juggalo Fest, 2017 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Was recommended to us. As well as some guy called Mike Busey or Bussy or something like that, who seems to be like some fat dude. Looks like Guy Fieri, the guy from Bowling for Soup, like the lead singer, and like Grimace, like had a child, and he's got he's all tatted up, and he lives in a mansion that he calls the Sausage Castle.
Ooh.
So
I'm
that's
stealing
the internet.
that name.
That's the internet. You know, the internet was created to share information and send information to others and collectively organize the world's information, in one interconnected web. And there I am getting that and fucking Kinder Egg surprise opening videos. What the fuck? I'm 25 years old. Why the fuck am I getting those? I've never clicked one of those in my life. All right? I grew up with Kinder Egg surprises in Canada. They fucking banned them here in America because American kids were fucking choking on them and dying.
We're not always the smartest.
And I don't need to see it, but I'm getting recommended to that. You know what I want to see? I want to see cool stuff like What the Golf, when ski lifts go wrong, maybe a kind of funny vid, maybe some IGN, maybe some other stuff. I don't know. Maybe gaming stuff because that's our fucking channel.
Yeah, that would.
I don't want to see.
Make a lot
I don't
of
want to
sense.
see Insane Clown Posse and Kinder Egg surprise openings.
I'd like to see both of them in the same video.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, Kinder Egg surprise. How the fuck do they work? I gotta build this little plastic tricycle. How the fuck does this work?
Oh, God.
Man.
So
for
now,
anyone who doesn't know what Insane Clown Posse is, yeah. Oh, Fago showers was another thing. which sounds terrible when you announce it on a podcast.
Faygo, like the off-brand soda.
The pop. Have you never heard of this?
No, I know. I have.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying for anybody that might not.
They sprayed on each other. They call Faygo showers.
Yeah. I think the only reason I do know what
America.
it is because of you, in all honesty.
Yeah. No, it's incredible.
I've managed to stay away from that end of the internet for
What a time to
a
be alive.
while.
What a time we live in, my friend. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Got off topic here at the end. Hey, that's okay. Go grab yourself a Faygo. Go watch the video podcast. Maybe throw it all over yourself.
Your Canadian accent, buddy, when you say that.
And we'll see you for the Tuesday show. See ya.